Patch 11.1 overview, features you can expect from day one during launch. Now, we know day one launch, we're not getting everything, right? Season 2 is not going to begin until a week later, along with the raid opening up and all difficulties and all of that. So what are you going to be doing in that first week? This is what this video is about. Wow, 11.1 on day one. Let's see what Dalaran Gaming has to say about what next week is going to look like in 11.1.
Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal, and patch 11.1 is launching very soon with a bunch of new features and content right on the horizon.
Driving around like crazy, yeah.
Patch 11.1 and Season 2 content will be launching at different intervals, with 11.1 bringing in the new world, massive set of class changes.
I'm happy for the PvPers getting a new arena. This is pretty cool.
New open world content and certain
it
activities
looks like a well-themed.
But the seasonal content will actually be launching 1 week after on March 4th. So I wanted to make a video clearing up some of the confusion that I've seen online so far regarding 11.1 and the brand new update of the Undermined, but going over every single feature that will be made available day one as soon as 11.1 goes live on February the 25th for the NA region and
coming
a day after for the EU region, and also making sure to dispel some of the confusion regarding what will be launching day one and what will be launching later once Season 2 content official launches 1 week after. As always, if you guys want to see more regular updates for the patch 11.1, be sure to follow the channel and subscribe. But otherwise, let's dive right in.
All right, let's see.
So let's go over everything that will be made immediately available during the launch 11.1. I will point out a couple of things that will be coming later.
By the way, just like real quick about the launch, most likely you're going to be getting in on Wednesday, okay? A day after the patch launch. I'm expecting like an 8-hour maintenance window or something like that. That's what we've been seeing typically with these giant patches. And then it could be extended beyond that as well. So I've said this before, if you're taking the day off of work for the patch launch, don't take off that Tuesday. If you're in America, if you're in the Americas, if you're in the EU, it would be that Wednesday. Don't take off that patch day because most likely the patch won't even be live until you get off of work at your regular working hours. So take off the next day. That'll be the first like full day where you can go into the patch and do everything.
As Season 2 finally officially launches.
Little PSA for Greg from accounting.
Literally everything that will be made available day one of this brand new update, with the Undermined zone becoming finally available. However, before you unlock the Undermine, you will need to do a quest line that will start you over towards the southern side of Ringing Deeps and unlock you this Gutterville area that eventually will lead you to the entrance of Undermine. But to begin that quest line, there is a prerequisite quest you'll find in Dornagal that you need to complete. It's going to be one of those quests like unlocking the Siren Isle, as well as another prerequisite quest that you will do with the Haranir faction, and that quest will be mandatory before you can begin the Undermine questline.
Oh, so make sure you guys have filled out your storyline shit. We were just talking about this the other day. You got to make sure that you're caught up on the story, so do all the purple question mark checks if you have any, or purple exclamation points on your map right now. Do them now before the patch launches, or otherwise you're going to have to do them before you can get into the Undermine patch content.
At least that's how it worked for me when the Undermine initially became available for us to test over in the PTR. Well, once you do that, the entire zone is then open to you. It functions a little differently. You won't be able to fly in the zone,
Don't tell me
but you will have a much faster set of wheels for you to get around on. And with the zone of Undermine, you'll get access to a variety of things, from brand new story quests as well as a bunch of side quests for you to complete. Side quests have a variety of different awards.
Purple isn't campaign, but it was for me actually. I don't know what if Blizzard changed it without saying anything or what. I know it's supposed to be the Shield version, right? Like those are the main storyline quests, but for some reason I had a bunch of storyline quests buried in purple question marks and stuff all over. And no, it wasn't. I don't know. I had some weird storyline stuff buried in them. I don't know if you have to do those or not, but if I were you, I'd just do them to be safe. Why not? And they're kind of cool. They reveal some interesting lore.
That are both cosmetic, but also potentially even starter gear if you just make it a new character for this brand new update. There's also a ton of new and different world events from their own set of world quests, as well as their own set of events, rares, treasures for you to collect, and even a new list called chat activities, or a chat list of tasks. Over in the Intercontinental Hotel, you'll find yourself a machine called the Chat. and then you'll be able to...
This is going to be a really good way to get Valor Stones throughout the season. You'll be able to get them. Sometimes you got to upgrade. You're out of stones. This will be a quick way to gather a bunch of them, because that's what this is going to reward you with, is a bunch of Valor Stones.
Find a chat list, which gives you a list of activities you can do.
It wasn't campaign, but it could be story.
A bunch of rewards, primarily currencies that you'll be using to upgrade gear and items like Valor Stones, which will be separate from the previous Valor Stones of Season 1. Any Valor Stones you farmed up for Season 1 are basically gone and are useless, as you'll need to get Season 2 version of Valor Stones.
Of course.
And a lot of those you can actually get just from doing open world activities in the Undermine, once you reach enough renown with some of the brand new factions within this underground zone. Later down the line in the Undermine, we'll also be getting a brand new world boss of the Godfather with some brand new items for Season 2 content, which are all going to be a bit of a step up compared to the Season 1 world bosses, which will still retain the same item level of the loot. They're not getting...
I don't know if he's going to show it here, but the open world armor sets are pretty damn cool. I'll pull them up here in a second while the video's going.
Any upgrades there at all, but the Godfather is not going to be launching until Season 2 content is officially here, so this guy will not be made available day 1, although first week of Undermine is definitely still going to keep you busy with a ton of different side quests as well as daily quests. Now, I mentioned earlier that you won't be able to fly around the Undermine, but it doesn't mean that you won't be able to get around here quickly, as instead of flying, you'll get access to a new system called Drive, which gives you access to a brand new vehicle that functions very, very differently compared to previous amounts. This one is more of like taking the sky riding dynamic flight system, but trying to find ways to apply it for ground movement. Given the vehicle of
by the way, here are the real quick. Here are the Undermine outdoor sets. They look really, really cool. The yellow colorway is what I've seen everywhere for the most part. But you got like your cloth version, your leather version right here, and then mail. Yeah, these are really cool, really well themed, much more well themed than the tier sets. So I think a lot of people are going to want to get these. And then you got the plate set right here. Actually, some of the most badass open world sets we've seen. So you're going to want to do the open world content for sure.
Variety of different abilities, from drifting, boosters, even a horn for you to honk, but also allowing you to customize this vehicle in a variety of different ways.
A lot of people are going to be doing this day one.
You'll be able to get yourself a variety of different vehicle customizations, which you'll be able to go back to a mechanic, and then access to adjust your vehicle in any way you see fit. You'll be able to customize the horn as well as the paint of your vehicle for a little bit more cosmetic pizzazz, but also the turbo, the wheels in terms of how well the vehicle drifts or how loosely it can drift, but also the engine to change up and adjust how you want your vehicle to perform when moving around the Undermine. Aside of this, there'll also be a variety of different races for you to compete with.
I hope at least after this patch one day, they make these drive vehicles available to use in Tanaris on the racetrack out there. Maybe they expand the racetrack, because that is one of the coolest unused assets in the game. Get that Tanaris racetrack up and running, and man, allow us to use our drive vehicles to race against each other on it. Man, that would be some cool, like, never-ending evergreen content.
In the Undermine, similar to skywriting races, but on the ground, and these can actually be kind of challenging.
There's Mario Karting in the game.
Over this past few PTR builds, some of these turns and cuts you have to do are
up,
a little bit more demanding than you may expect. So it actually has quite a bit of a difficulty from the get-go. But the drive system has definitely improved over these past few weeks. On the
Wait, the racetrack, isn't there one in Tanaris? Am I tripping? There was one in Thousand Needles, but for some reason I thought it was in... Maybe I'm just confusing my desert biomes in WoW right now. Yeah, it's Thousand Needles. Okay, yeah, that would be underwater. So we got to drain Thousand Needles first, and then allow it to happen. Okay, maybe you pull the sword out of the planet and it acts like a big drain, just drains all the water down from all over Azeroth. Yeah, Morning Dude caught this early. Hope you and the family are doing good. Thanks, News. Yeah, we're doing good, man. Happy to see you here. 404 brain cells not found. Yeah, or 404.
BTR, as they refined it and made it much better than its initial version that we saw at the very beginning. For players used to randomly DC when they just went a little bit too quickly, now the vehicle is a lot more stable, has much better drift capabilities, the turbo has also been adjusted, and the vehicle has much better interaction with the environment. You no longer get caught on little objects around the open world, but also even if you do bump into buildings, you no longer completely stop. Instead, the vehicle bounces, which adds a little bit more of this realistic bumper cars feel for the actual feature of the drive system. As part of the content in the Undermine, you'll also be able to ally yourself with one of the Goblin cartels, and you'll be able to
these
do
cartels
so
will be
once
cool.
a week.
The good thing about these cartel tracks is they're not going to be like attached to any power related gear in any way. There's a lot of transmog that's going to be available, some quality of life changes maybe to how you get around Undermine and stuff like that. But overall, it's just like do it if you want it, don't do it if you don't, because it's not going to be power related in any way.
We have 4 cartels for you to ally with from Bilgewater Cartel.
And joining
which is
the
ran
Mexican
by
one.
Gaslow. These guys are usually the explosive enjoyers, and you'll be able to find a variety of different rewards that are thematic to their faction. The Steam Wheel Cartel are ran by none other than Noggenfogger. If you're someone who hung out in Teneris or was part of the Rogue or the whole back in Legion, this guy will be very familiar. These guys are usually specialized into chemicals and poisons. The Blackwater Cartel are essentially pirates with a bit of smuggling on the side, ran by Revelgaz, and Venture Co. is...
Oh, guys, if you didn't know, the racetracks in the Shimmering Flats and Thousand Needles. Yeah, I don't know if you guys knew that, but there it is.
Under new management after we defeated their trade prince in the dungeon of the Motherlode, which will actually be made
The Amigo Day Cartel
2 for you to experience. But these guys are usually better at building and material acquisition, and all of these...
I'm actually most excited to join the pirate cartel. I can't remember what the hell their name is right now. Is it Bilgewater? No, Bilgewater is like the regular one. Whatever the pirate one is, because they have some decent pirate transmog stuff.
Cartels will have a variety of different activities that are
We need the
thematic
mech
to
T-Rex
their
mount.
factions and the thematics of those goblin cartels, but also rewards that will be similar.
Yeah, see, a lot of them are really cool.
But others will be...
lay waste to this realm.
Goranemo, Garanemo, thank you for the follow on YouTube. Welcome to our Scourge. Yeah, basically they're all going to be well themed. There are some mounts available. Snippy coming in with the sub, man. Thank you. Tier 1 sub and Death Knight of our Scourge. The T-Rex mount that you're talking about is actually going to be available to everybody as long as you're doing the raid. You don't have to clear it, but doing the raid a little bit every week. It's the last item on the Renown track. That's right. So the raid Renown track will give everybody the T-Rex mount as the final reward.
More familiar towards those factions as well.
Thank you so much for the tier 1 sub again.
4 varieties of different rewards for you to collect, but also 4 different factions all in one single renown for you to work on while in the Undermine. With that, you also get...
Yeah, so these are them, Bilgewater, Blackwater. Blackwater is the pirate one. That's the one I'm going to want to do off the bat too, but I forgot which one has that green mount he was showing. I think it might be Steam Weedle. Don't quote me on that, but yes, there are some mounts to be had
for
too.
you to work on while in the Undermine. With that, you also get a brand new cartel of the Undermine Renown track with a variety of different
Feels
rewards
fine,
from
feels
some of the
awesome.
basic stuff like currencies that will be necessary during Season 2 content, like your Valor Stones, maybe even your Resonance Crystals. Then there also will be crests and such for you to collect, but also a variety of other cosmetic rewards as well. But also, as you unlock more Renown tracks, you'll actually unlock more activities around the Undermine as well, and get a variety of different fun cosmetics and even mounts later down the line.
Yeah.
When it comes to dungeon content, we're getting a brand new dungeon that'll be made available during Season 2 of M+, and that is Operation
Oh,
Floodgate.
that's right. I forgot about this. Operation Floodgate is the new dungeon, and it will be available in the first week, so we can go give that a try before it becomes part of the Mythic Plus rotation. Oh, wow. Yeah. We're going to go in there and do that for sure.
And this dungeon, from what we can tell, should be made available immediately with a patch
Normal mode, yeah.
11.1 launch.
Normal and Heroic will be available immediately. Should be. A Mythic version won't be.
This dungeon features a variety of different items, but also an upgraded item level track. I would double check the rewards for this dungeon once 11.1 launches, because they might be lower, might be a little bit higher than what we can test right now on the PTR. But we do know that this dungeon will be made available day 1 of 11.1, which gives you some new content to dive into, but the rewards may be a little bit lower until the launch of Season 2. If they're not lower, then 619 item level from Heroics might be decent enough item level for you to get started if you're still trying to catch up with a bit of gear ahead of Season 2 content.
Yeah.
Patch 11.1 will also bring a bunch of new updates for Brann as well as Delph content, as the
Fucking
gear
Brann.
rewards as well as a variety of different things should also be getting an update with the new patch, both in terms of the content but also in terms of the Brann's additions.
Did she put that hat on Brann, or is he really rocking a candle on his head? I know actually part of the lore of Delves in Season 2 is that Brann's hat has been stolen. And like the entire time you're running Delves, you can actually get transmog hats for him. And at the end, if you kill Underpin, you'll get his hat back. There's like a whole story behind his hat. But I don't know why her Brann right now has a candle on his head. That's
as
interesting.
we should be getting access to 2 new delves made available, with excavation site found in the
I bet
rainy
Brann is
deeps,
thinking
but
fucking
also one in
Sam, baby.
Undermine called Side Street Sluice. Brann also gets a pretty massive revamp regarding some of the different things that he'll be able to do, like access to a tank and roll, which makes him super aggressively good as a tank, actually able to hold aggro and survive damage quite well. A variety of new curios available for the brand new season, which are a lot more impactful than Season 1's curios. A lot of the combat curios from Season 1 were mostly usable, but the utility curios have definitely been improved. Previously, you had like one good one that you would use for all delve content if you meant to actually have a useful one, not a utility one. But now all of them are actually utility, but also combat curios at the same time.
Yeah, what is it? It's like the porcelain arrow one or something like that. It's one of the curios that I'm still rocking a rank 1 because I've not gotten it ever since. I do think Blizzard should have added in like a way to use, I don't know, your under coins or whatever to buy the specific curios that you want. Because at the end of the day, there is some RNG there, and I've had bad RNG. I have not had the best curio rank 4 drop for me yet. So I'm sitting, dicking around with my Brann at a rank 1. There's nothing I can do about it. They should have some bad luck protection involved where you can at least buy them, if not at the beginning of the season, at least towards the end.
Which makes them a lot
dicking
better
around.
overall. Delves will also have a bunch of different rewards as well as different revamps for their levels, which means you will have to grind out delves starting from tier 4 all the way to tier 8 for the brand new season, but all of the rewards will be updated, though some of them will be made available once Season 2 content officially launches, but it could be an opportunity for you to get some early starter gear during the first week. Patch 11.1 also brings a ton of new class changes, which we've been covering on the channel quite regularly.
A lot.
From many talents and ability revamps, hero talent adjustments, and massive reworks for classes such as Hunters, where the marksmanship scene and one of the most sizable revamps in a long while. Mages have also got a number of massive changes for all 3 of their specs. Shamans have also got brand new improvements.
Yeah,
and
a lot of
many
changes.
smaller updates for just about
Don't forget tanking buff across the board, like 20% buffs to damage. 20s mostly for everybody. I think it was paladins and monks that only got like 15% damage buff, but it's like across the board. Double-digit buff, which you don't usually see to damage, which is, I guess, supposed to help the aggro situation for tanks, because we can't hold aggro worth a shit right now. We're squishy and we can't hold aggro. Basically, we're not tanks anymore. This is supposed to fix the aggro situation. I wish they would have just addressed it directly, but they used a DPS buff to try to address it.
Free class, maybe besides Rogue, which is the one class that didn't get a lot of changes, but basically everybody else besides Rogues, you guys got something new to look forward to within your talent tree or hero talents. But also, there's going to be a lot of big meta changes coming in Season 2. The classes you saw dominating with Season 1 maybe will still stay relevant in Season 2, but there will likely be many new shifts, with playstyles such as Avengers Demon Hunter looking to be a little bit more popular than Prop Paladin, at least before final tuning. Frost Mages are looking insanely good. Aug Evoker is still very viable. Shamans, Hunters, all those are still looking very good, and it might be a competition between Disc Priests and Mistweavers as for healers. Though, don't take this as gospel, just take it with a grain of salt, as this is all the classes that are looking really popular before final tuning for Season 2 content. But the best thing you can do is just keep an eye out for those tuning patches right as the update launches. When it comes to PvP content, classes are also receiving a bunch of new PvP otter talents. So you're going to be seeing a lot of druids running around as massive hulking ancient trees.
That's actually cool as hell, man. I haven't seen that yet.
That is one of the new additions being added. But also there's a variety.
Is that a PvP talent? What the hell? When did this happen? I completely missed this in the patch notes.
PvP otter talents.
What the
you're going to be seeing
They literally get to become a giant ant? This is amazing. What a freaking cool talent, too. I guess it's, but isn't it only PvP based?
A lot of druids running around as massive hulking ancient trees within your battlegrounds, so don't be surprised. That is one of the new additions being added. But also there's a variety of new and powerful PvP talents added for many of your favorite classes, but some of the PvP talents actually removed for the season, which is definitely going to shake up the Season 2 meta. PvPers also can expect to earn a bunch of new rewards, starting with brand new gear, with new items for you to collect from the
Good for the
PvP
PvP
section,
people.
but also the honor gear will be upgraded with a much higher item levels in Season 1 content, and even Conquest gear, where we see actually a couple of adjustments. Not only do we see a whole new set of Conquest gear, which most of it looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
some
badass.
of the recolors and some of the
But I'm going to say, though, you can't PvP until the new PvP season, right? I mean, I guess maybe you could, but you don't get towards anything towards your rating. I'm not sure how PvP seasons work. I don't do a lot of it. I haven't PvP'd since fucking the days of Winter Grasp in this game, so it's been a while. But yeah, PvP season doesn't kick off officially until season 2 kicks off with what's it called? Dungeons, the Dungeon Mythic Plus rotation, and the raid opening up, which is not for another week after the launch.
The different looks that we have to collect, but
What's
also
up,
there's
DJ?
new items called Conqueror's Prized Varnish, as well as Lacquer, and even new heraldries, with the Varnish and Lacquer being used on items that are tier sets that you may end up getting from delves, dungeons, or raids, or potentially from your Great Vault if you participate in any form of PvE content. If you do collect a tier set piece from your weekly boxes, you can apply the Lacquer or the Varnish to immediately add PvP scaling to those items. So it gives you another opportunity for PvPers to do some casual PvE content to possibly chance at more tier set pieces going forward. Outside of this, we also get some brand new Warband additions, such as campsites, as we get new campsites for you to collect over time. We have the Adventurer's Rest, which is a basic one that is granted to us. Ondar Overlook, which we got access to on the PTR really early on, but then there's even more for us to collect, like
The Cultist. I can't wait to get that Cultist one. I really want to. I think that's related to Delves, if I'm not mistaken. I definitely want to get it. It actually says here, rushes progression through Season 2 Delver's Journey, and you'll unlock it. Very cool, so we can all be pirates now. I always love pirate-themed shit. I know I'm not a butt pirate before anyone says it in chat, but I do like pirate-themed things. It's just cool to me.
Which you'll get from completing Delve content within Season 2. The Fey World Spring, which you'll get from achievement All That Kaz, as well as Galazio Grand Gallery for getting achievement Going Goblin Mode, and these you can earn from open world content. And these campsites actually change your character's environment. Like, the original campsite looks for the most part good. A lot of players do enjoy the environment, but many have been wanting for a scenery change, and now you can do one with the Undermined Plains from the expansion of Dragonflight, and the plan to add even more scenery and campsites in the future, and allow players to unlock these different campsites through in-game activities.
I hope they eventually give us some like class-themed campsites. I'd really like that, like maybe at the top of Icecrown Citadel for Death Knights or something. Something cool like that, because there's some people, believe it or not, who just have multiple of the same class. I just think it would be cool thematically for me to have my Death Knights sitting up at the top of Icecrown Citadel in my login screen. That's what I'd like to see. We'll see if it ever happens. Or give us like a version of our class order halls from Legion, like as backgrounds. That'd be cool. Like having all the paladins sitting in that, that church-esque group. That'd be a nice one.
Which is super exciting, because imagine what kind of campsites you might be able to get from raid content, open world content, delve content, or even PvP content. Not only that, but you also get to create new groupings for all of your characters, and you can actually see, I created a couple of them before. You still have your favorites grouping, which you can put your 4 favorite characters into, but
you can title them too. Look at that, he adds titles to them. That's interesting.
Adding brand new camps to your roster. So if you want to make a grouping for all of your leather classes, Augurevoker not included, you could do so. If you want to make a grouping for classes you're looking to test on the PTR realms, like I did, you can do so as well. Or even if you just want to put your farming classes together in a single group, and you can do so as well. All of these new campsites and different groupings can be customized with different backgrounds, but also with their own little names, and it just gives you better character management overall, which is a massive improvement for anybody looking to play multiple alts heading into Season 2. And lastly, a massive new feature is coming to the War Within 11.1, which is a new tab for your map. Normally you have your quest tab as well as map legend tab, which gives you some information regarding some of the different content
events tab
that is available on the map. But now there's also an events tab that will show you all the events that are available for the day. It will tell you some of the big events in Kazagar, and it will show you on the map exactly where they are, but also like it shows you where the different world soul fragments are available. So if you're looking for those to get a little bit extra coffer shards and valor stones and an old character, you can now do so without having to search the entire map for all of these events. Then there's also other upcoming events like Surge Pricing, which is a Undermine specific event with your drive vehicle that you will also be able to access. It will tell you exactly when those events are coming up.
Very nice.
And hopefully they'll end up populating this tab even further with all
I'm trying to teach you guys about what's coming in the first week of 11.1, and you guys are talking about me sitting on a porcelain throne. Have some appreciation in chat. My God, I'm a man of the people, try to serve the people, and all I do is get ripped all day. Get my ass torn apart by chat. Thank you.
Maybe old expansion events at some point in the future. Like if, let's say, you're still doing Shadowlands achievements, Legion achievements, Battle for Azeroth achievements, and you're waiting for specific events in those regions, hopefully they'll end up expanding this feature in the future. But it is a brand new feature that they'll hopefully will keep developing on and improving upon after the launch of 11.1. But as always, though, I do want to thank all of you guys so much for watching and hope you guys did enjoy this.
It is a
update.
replacement
If you
for some
enjoyed
add-ons.
or found it informative, go ahead and give this video a like. I would very, very much appreciate it. Join our Discord community, probably the best place to discuss with everybody else regarding all of the new class changes and probably hot fixes that we'll be seeing with the launch of 11.1. Also, let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in the next one.
Yeah, very nice video. A good summary there. Again, the seasons and the raid don't open up until a week later, so this will be the first week. We have a lot of stuff to do. You'll be doing the story, you'll be doing the drive content, getting all your cartel shit together, and doing some of the open world content as well. There'll be things to do in that first week. It'll be a busy week. Also doing the new dungeon. I want to get in there and do that one. Operation Floodgate looks pretty cool. And then when Mythic Plus season kicks off and raid, obviously, we're going straight into raid on stream. That first day, we're going straight into raid, pugging that shit. Getting in there and starting to progress at a raid Renown track. That'll be fun as well. Nice video from Dalaran Gaming.